If you're still learning JavaScript like it's 2010, you're holding yourself back. You're not just wasting lines of code, you're wasting your potential. I spent more than 50 hours mastering JavaScript, and guess what I've learned? Pro write less code that does more. In this video, I will show you the shorthand tricks that level up my code and made me faster, cleaner, and more confident. One-line variable declaration, swapping values with no temporary variables, string to normal in one keystroke, and finally, ternary conditional. If you're serious about becoming a better developer, writing code that runs efficiently with low LOC, then this video is exactly what you need. Let us jump in and transform your code. So for this part, we're going to talk about variables declaration and variables initialization. So quick recap. In JavaScript, if you want to declare a variable, we use the keyword, either the keyword let or the keyword var or the keyword const. So that's basically how we use the different keywords that we use to declare variables in JavaScript. So what is now, let's declare a variable. So to declare a variable is simple. Say for example, that's it, declare a variable. Now let's initialize a variable. So to initialize a variable, you first of all have to declare it and then give it a value. So it can either be a string, a number, a double, or any data type. So that's basically what we're talking about here. Variable declaration and initialization. So the shorthand that I will propose here, or I will display here, is to help us to reduce the redundancy when declaring multiple variables. So now let me just portray or show the longhand approach. So let's say let's declare a variable username, and let's initialize a variable user score and give it a value of 10. So now there is a way you can write all this code in just one line, and that's the shorthand approach. Let me just show you guys. So username, comma, user score. So this is it. So, and there's something important I have to mention. For example, when you are declaring a variable like this, what JavaScript is doing, because of its default effect that's called hoisting. So when you declare a variable, what happens is that the variable initially takes a value of undefined. So undefined is a primitive data type in JavaScript. It initially takes the value undefined. So if we want to just try and console log this variable, so what I just said is that username has the value undefined, or it is initialized with the value undefined, and user score is initialized with the value 10. So let's just try and console log the two variables, username, user score. As you can see, user name is undefined and user score is 10. So with this shorthand trick, you can basically reduce the number of lines of code in your project. So if you have any question about it, feel free to leave a comment below this video. Swapping arrays is a classic programming task. Traditionally, you will grab a temporary variable to do the job. Now, for example, let's say we have the variable, let's declare a variable first, greeting, and give it a value of string value, hello, guys. So now let's declare another variable, number, and give it the data type of integer of number, let's say 55. So now what we want to do here is that we want to swap the values. We want that this variable, so the value of this variable should be found inside this one, the variable greeting, and this one should be found inside number. And to do that, we need to use a temporary variable. So let's first of all declare a temporary variable. And the first thing to do here is to assign to it the value of greeting, the variable greeting. The second step here is to now assign a new value to the variable of greeting. So greeting, greeting. The new variable here will be number. And the last step to do here is to assign a new value to the variable of number, which is basically the temporary value that we store. So the value of greeting that we store. So number is equals to temporary. And I think that let us just check it very fast. So I think that if we console log greeting, we log the value of we log the value where we shall have as output 55, and same thing here for number, we shall have as output hello. Hello. So let's just try it and see the result. 55 hello, as you can see. So so that's it, as I said. So this method or this traditional way of doing the thing works perfectly. But the problem here is that it feels a little bit bulky, right? So extra steps, extra array variables, and if you are not careful, you can make silly errors on it. So now let me give you the tip. Let's enter the modern world. A slick of shortcuts, and this trick works with array destructuring. So let me just try and comment out this result, this old fashioned and put it shorthand. So now let me show you the trick. So let me just copy this guy and put it here. So here, to do it using the concept of array destructuring, which is a concept that is used in modern JavaScript, let's say lab. So the first thing we do is that on the left hand side, we open our braces and declare all the variables that we want to swap. So basically, swapping involve only two variables, so greeting and number. And on the right hand side, we just swap them. So we reassign new variables, new values to the variable. So greeting. And I see if we try and console log the thing, we shall get the same result. So let me just check it. So yes, this was the first result with the old style. Now this is a new result with a new style. So that's just it. One line, the values are swapped cleanly. So how does it work? As I said, on the right hand side here, we create a temporary array with swapped position. And on the left hand side, we simply destructure this left hand side, we destructure the array, assigning the first element to greeting and second element to number. So a quick pro tip here is you first of all have to understand this long approach. It's very important because if you understand how it works, how is it used, how do we use temporary variables, and so on and so forth, when you have understood it, then you can now go and embrace this modern trick about array destructuring. So basically, to write elegant, concise code. So a quick question for you is, what's your favorite swapping method? Is it the classic way with temporary variables or the modern way with the structure of array? So don't forget to smash the like button. Every JavaScript developer assigns values to variables. but how you do it makes a difference. So you might write it like this, step by step. Let me say, for example, here, let's take variable names, price, quantity, and let's say total cost. So we just declare a variable. So we just declare these variables. Now let's initialize it. So that is giving them a specific value. So let's say 10 here. Price is 10. The quantity is 2. And the total cost will be like, let's say for example, 20. This way of doing works perfectly, but the problem here is that it's a little bit long and repetitive. The shorthand code I'm about to show you here will basically take you from 4 lines of code to 1 line of code. It's a game changer. So to do that, we shall use a concept in JavaScript that we call Array Destructuring. So what does it mean? Let me just try and show you guys quickly. So we still use our declaration keyword let, and the difference here is that we just use these braces and name all our variables quantity and total cost. So now there is an error because we cannot really declare variables in JavaScript. So let me just comment this whole code out. I think now it's better. So on the right hand side, we declare a temporary array. So here we like 10, 2, and 20. So now let's just test if it's working by consoling, logging this value, say price, quantity, and total cost. As you can see, we have it here, 10, 2, and 20. So that is, as I said, a game changer. So this 1 line of code, this one like this 1 line of code declares and assigns all 3 variables simultaneously. So it is smart, neat, and professional to use this approach when you want to declare and assign variables. So how does it work quickly? So on the right hand side, we have a temporary array. So we basically create a temporary array to store the values. And on the left hand side, we destructure this array using the array destructuring concept in JavaScript. So that is, we destructure this array by position, which simply means that price has the value of 10, quantity has the value of 2, and 20, and total cost has the value of 20. I want to say 20 has the value of total cost. It doesn't make sense. So why is it that this short trick is a game changer? As I said, it's quick, it's faster, and you don't have to write any more code. So you don't have to write too much lines. It improves. The second reason here is that it improves your code clarity. And a simple beginner tip that I can give here is that start with the longhand approach to grab the concept. That is the concept of declaration, initialization, hoisting, and so on and so forth. And when you are done with that, switch to array destructuring for cleaner and faster code. So now let me know in the comments below if you prefer the classic or the modern way. So don't forget to like if this tip really helps simplify your code, and subscribe for more JavaScript. When working with data, you often get numbers as string. But how do you convert them into real numbers? So naturally, to do these tasks, the traditional way is to use built-in functions, let's say methods like pasting, method, or paste float. So let me just try and show you guys a quick example. So now let's declare a variable, let's say age, and say for example use space in to convert the age into string into an integer. So let's say age 25 years old. And let's say the next one is, let's say grade, let's say temperature, so that we can use float. So basically with this function we just change them from string so another data type, which is number, and more precisely integer and double. So let's just try and check if it worked. So to do that we shall use the keyword type of, let's say age. Normally the result here is supposed to be number, and also down here is supposed to be number. So let's just do that thing first. Temperature. I forgot the year. So so what this keyword does basically is to return the data type of the variables, of the value stored in the variable. So let's just do it. Let's just check it quickly. As I said, number, year, number, and number. So it worked. So to do this way works perfectly. But the problem here, as I said, is the extra typing. And we are here for me to give you tricks or tips to write less code and do more. So here is a neat shortcut with the use of the Unary plus operator on the right hand side before the string. So let's just do it. As usual, let me just try to comment out this code. Copy this guy and go on to the shorthand. So let's say for example let age, say age was 25. So the Unary plus operator is here, plus before the string, so the string is 25, and let's say temperature is equals to plus what was the temperature? Let's give another number, right? 24 degrees, 24 degrees. So doing that, we quickly convert each string to a value, which is to another data type. Let's just try and test it. Test it. As you can see, the same thing, number and number. Let me delete it. Try again. Sorry, try again. Same thing, number and number. So that is how you basically leave from a string to a number object or anything data type, the number data type. So here we're talking about one character instant conversion, and it is smart, neat, and professional. So the question you should be asking yourself is, what's happening under the hood? It's very simple. So here we have the Unary operator, which coheres the string here into a number instantly. So it works for both whole numbers and decimals, making your code clean and faster. So cleaner and faster. The tip here is use space in and space float when you want to control the passing behavior. So passing simply means leaving from one data type to another one, like ignoring the decimals, and use it also when the plus Unary operator for quick and simple conversion when you are sure of the input format. So these tips are very important to take in consideration when applying this trick I'm talking about. So now tell me something. Do you use space in this guy, or base float? or you preferably use the Unary Plus for convention. As usual, don't forget to like if you found the trick handy or interesting, and subscribe for more JavaScript shortcuts. Do you want to save lines of code and write smarter conditionals? If yes, let us take a look at how the ternary operator can replace the key if-else statement. So here is a classic way to check if a number is either odd or even. So let me start first of all with declaring a variable name number and assigning a number. So now let me declare another variable parity to check whether, not to check whether, to which we indicate whether the number stored in the variable number is an even number or an odd number. So after doing that, we shall eventually use the if-else statement. So to do that is basically simple. The condition here is, okay, if number when has a remainder when divided by 2, which is equals to 0, then parity should be given the value it is an even number. Okay. Else, that is, if this condition here up does not hold, what happens is it is an odd number. So let's see, it's an odd number. So this structure works, but it takes 5 lines of code for something that is simple, or something that can be made simple. And here's the trick that I wanted to talk about. Now let's check out this one liner using the ternary operator trick. So let me just try and comment this if statement out so that we don't have any trouble. We copy this guy and post it, cut it and paste it here. So now we shall deal the ternary operator, we shall deal directly with the variable. So to do it is very simple. So we take the condition number, we check when it's divided by 2, if the remainder equals 0, then we use the question mark. So the question mark here is it helps us to evaluate this condition. So when the condition is true, what happens is that this value, this string, will be assigned to the parity variable. So like this. And when the condition is false, don't forget about this syntax. And when the condition is false, we instead have this value. And that's it all. Simple and clean. Just one line does the same job. Quick and readable. So let's just try and log the result. Normally here is supposed to be it's an even number. Yes, it is an even number. So that's a very simple way to avoid this long if-else statement. But the pro tip here is not to overuse it or to have over nested ternary operators. So I just have a quick question for you. So what's your go-to? Is it the classic if-else or the ternary operator? What do you prefer? Or do you think that they have it depends on the cases or it depends on the situation? So just leave a comment below. If you have a question, leave also a comment below. Don't forget to like if you love writing cleaner code, and subscribe for more tips and tricks in coding and more precisely in JavaScript. Thank you.